Hello, everybody. This is Theodore, Lies of the Devil, exposing lies of the devil. This Kent tried to steal a dead man's house. Okay? Now, that's 100% true. And then following up with that, Kent and his fake, I didn't break any crimes. I'm going to show you that he broke crimes, and that's why they put him in prison. Okay? So that's one. And then the people he surrounds himself are pawn scum. All right? This clip, you're going to see Rudy Looney Tune Davis and his wife just fawning over this, what they think is a super patriot guy who intimidated an old man to try to take his house away. And then Kent, after the fact, when he dies, trying to steal his house. That's true. So I'm going to play this, and then we'll kind of move forward. But the first part of this video is to show how they're trying to prop up this Paul John Hansen guy, this evil, wicked person, as some type of godly man.
His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity.
Every single night before I go to bed, I'm going to remember Paul John Hansen, who talks about the wisdom of the plowboy, which is closer to the wisdom of God than these evil satanic bastards who think they know it all and can take away our liberty anytime they want to.
The reason you punish a crime is to let all that are observing not to repeat the crime.
Yeah.
I believe 10 months in jail is a message like that sufficient to the community.
We need.
I'm going to go back and rewind this. He is admitting that he was used as an example for the crimes he committed. He admits that, and that 10 months is sufficient. I'm going to rewind it. Listen.
We need you on the outside. We need good guys like you. These evil satanic bastards who think they know it all and can take away our liberty anytime they want to.
The reason you punish a crime is to let all that are observing not to repeat the crime.
Yeah.
I believe 10 months in jail is a message like that sufficient to the community.
We need you on the outside. We need good guys like you that have a constitution and a character and a backbone to be free and not to be locked up in prison.
Everything I have in the whole lifetime on planet Earth went to buy this property.
When I went down to Pensacola, one of the first things I did was go speak with Anthony Jaworski. He told me Kent Hovind was a tax cheat and a fraud, and that he did not want to be at 5720 Palafox Street anymore. At the time, I was under the impression Kent Hovind was innocent, and so I convinced Anthony that Kent Hovind was not a bad guy. As time went on, Anthony and I became good friends.
So Anthony Jaworski is under the impression, and he lives under the impression from the victim's perspective, that great crimes have been done to him. Did somebody beat him up? Did somebody steal his life savings? Hey, Mr. Jaworski, my advice, just be friendly. And I bet that any of those Hovinds, I bet they're friendly, Mr. Jaworski.
As CSE grew, we needed a larger place to produce media, film, new material, etc., etc. And so Kent Hovind and Ernest Land took advantage of the relationship I had with Anthony and asked if they could rent his garage. To make a long story short, Anthony Jaworski told me he had letters from Paul Hansen threatening him. He said Paul Hansen sent him letters saying he did not own his house on 5720 Palafox and asked for thousands of dollars in rent.
The first idea I had that something is going wrong was I got these letters and they're telling me to get off the property, you don't own it, and the IRS doesn't own it, you're a trespasser.
I told Kent Hovind about this, and Kent said he knew nothing about that, and being naive at the time, I took him at his word. Months later, I have been told that Anthony Jaworski passed away due to health complications. What bothers me is Kent Hovind asked me to move into his home at 5720 Palafox Street. Listen, this is November 2016. Go look at the videos, Kent Hovind, Wolf in Sheep's Clothing. This is after my wife and I left. He's asking me When they're in Alabama, after they've moved everything to Alabama, he's asking me to go into Anthony's garage, his house, and to take it, to live there. He wanted to steal Anthony's house. Okay? It's just... So, now this next clip I'm going to show you, this is Kent talking about how everybody's following me, the Gestapo, the Nazis, the blah, 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 or whatever. And again, it's this effigy he's creating that he is a martyr, that he wants to be a martyr. He wants to be a martyr. Look at the last video. Just look at the last videos. If you're watching this and you're like, is this guy crazy? Just go into the playlist, Liar of the Devil, Kent Hovind, and just go and backtrack. And all of this will make sense. In fact, I just got a text message this morning. People were going, why do you keep making videos about this guy? Because, it's going to come out here soon, Kent, he believes he's a prophet. He believes he's Jesus Christ. And he's building an end times bunker. And he says that it's okay to take the mark of the beast. So if people that go, why don't you talk about the coronavirus and end times? Okay, if this is the end times and things are down, we're getting close to being shut down here. He is the Antichrist, false prophet, and there's going to be many that Christ warned us about. He's building an end times bunker, thinks that he's a prophet, and that it's okay to take the mark of the beast. Okay? And I'm trying to get people to stay away from him. Now here's this text message that I got. It's from Wendell, and they are in Texas, West Texas, okay? Enjoying your series on Kent. Keep up the good work. He is now begging people for their gold and silver, using scriptures to con them. I went to DAL in November of 2018. I wanted to meet him in person. He took me on the tour in his wife's car, hitting every pothole. I had no respect for the property. I asked him to slow down because I had been in a wreck. He just can't hear you, he says, because it's all about him. I looked at the shoddy construction, and after a few days, his new volunteers. This is why people are always leaving, because they go there. If they're real Christians, they have the Holy Spirit. They go there to figure it out themselves, and they book it. I looked at his shoddy construction, and after a few days, his new volunteers were tired of his insults and his laziness. Kent is a welfare recipient. Kent is a lazy welfare recipient. Honestly, I do not have anything good to say about him, and he seems like a child in a man's body that totally lacks wisdom. I'm getting those almost every day, every other day, of people waking up and going, ooh, you're right. It's going to keep, So here's this clip of Kent talking about how he's a martyr, right? It's all a gig. It's all a moneymaker.
It's amazing. Paul, you're coming through from Nebraska. It's a little warmer down here. How many times does the people make false accusations against good people like this, and just for financial gain? If
they can't find anything true that's bad, they just make up stuff.
They'll make up stuff. Was Jesus perverting the nation? The atheists think I am perverting science because I teach evolution is stupid. Oh, Hovind is bad. Hovind is perverting our science class. No, I'm trying to cleanse it. It's already perverted. I'm trying to fix it. Okay. And they began to accuse him. We found this fellow perverting the nation, forbidding to give tribute to Caesar. Well, if you can't get him on anything else, get him on taxes. Right? That's what they did with me. They investigated me for 10 years. Couldn't find anything wrong. So they came.
I'm going to show you here real quick. Kent is a tax fraud, tax cheat. And that guy, when he says, hey, Paul, is it true that this is what they do to people like me, making up false accusations? He's like, yeah, for money. Paul Hansen is the one that sent the threatening letters to Anthony, and then Kent tried to steal his home after he was dead. These people, and I'm going to try not to talk and make so much commentary. So here we go. Here's proof that Kent cheated on taxes. And this whole, he likes to take focus off of what really got him. Structuring was the goodies that the government were like, ooh, now that we got him on not paying employee taxes, that was, when people say, hey, quit pulling the thread, right? You pull the thread, eventually you're gonna, the blanket or whatever you're weaving, it's gonna fall apart. It's just gonna be a string, okay? they pulled the thread. It was the employee taxes, and Ernest will admit this. Ernest will admit that when Kent started to install a time clock in his place, that's when Ernie booked it, because Ernie was like, I'm not going to be a part of this. So they got him on the employee taxes. That's what opened up the window to all the other crimes that Kent. So he doesn't want people to focus on that. He wants them to focus on structuring.
In the laws and say, this law doesn't require that I do this. The state does not require persons to file a tax form. Everybody should obey the law, including the government. I have not filed any income tax in 28 years. If there's a law requiring me to file something, I would like to see it.
Let's just be really simple here, okay? 26 U.S. Code 1, tax imposed. It's a law. In United States versus Hovind, this is the court ruling on one of Kent Hovind's appeals. And you jump down here to paragraph 12. The government proved that Kent knew the tax laws required the collection and payment of withholding taxes, but he refused to comply. Employees of Evangelism Enterprises, his peers, and legal counsel even testified that Kent disputed the authority of the IRS based on the separation of the church and state, debated the interpretation and application of withholding requirements, and intentionally characterized Evangelism Enterprises as a church and his employees as missionaries to avoid tax obligations. Bryan Pop was then asked, was this part of the job that you were doing at CSC that you got paid for? Producing websites, producing, all kinds of media and whatnot for Kent? He says, yes. Now, at any point in time, Mr. Pop, were any taxes withheld from any of the wages or the pay that you received from CSE? He says, no. Here, it shows you just who Kent Hovind is. He's totally lawless. During this period of time, did you become aware of any problems that Mr. Hovind was having with the county? Yes. What problems did you become aware of? At a certain point in time, we stopped getting permits for building new construction. Did you have a discussion with Mr. Hovind as to why he was not getting permits to build buildings? Yes. What did he tell you? That as a church, we are not subject to man's law. I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you... Kent is not running a church. It's a business. And I'm going to play clips here that this is all a moneymaker. So when Kent says, I'm a church, I'm not subject under man's law, he's talking about himself. He believes that he's a church. The church verbiage is himself. He's talking about himself. He doesn't believe he's subject to man's law. He's a lawless, defiled vermin. I'm going to play you audio proving that it's all about a business and that Mary Tocco was complicit in this whole thing.
I see numerous options. My dad would say, list all the options. I just wrote 4 down real quickly here. 1 is just send everybody home. We're quit. We're closing the doors. I'm retiring. Go home. 2, everybody pay rent. And we pay for the finished product only, which is what I suggested with Brady. Produce a product. We'll buy it. But now the burden is on you to make money for your family.
Because we're not your daddy and your mama.
I'm not your dad, right?
We're not responsible for...
Well, like some family up in North Alabama, their child was taken a month ago, and Brady went up there to help them. I said, Brady, that's wonderful. He said, no, they're broke, they can't afford to pay anything, so I'm doing it for free. I said, well, really, you're not. I'm paying for it.
Just to give you some insight, I don't know the name of the family, but their child... I'm not sure if it was a home birth or at a hospital. It had to have been at a hospital. They give birth to the child at a hospital, and they left right after the child was born. They didn't file a birth certificate, none of this stuff. Again, go look at the last video I made. Kent Hovind is radicalizing these type of people so that, to say that, a birth certificate is, I don't even know. It's like a straw man argument. I don't even know. I don't even understand it myself. It's ridiculous. So, essentially, these people have a child at a hospital. They leave the hospital. The hospital's like, hey, listen, this is kind of strange what these people are doing. Let's have the CPS go look at them. Now, the CPS goes and looks and finds, I don't know exactly what happened, but they took the kid away, basically. And these people are asking Brady Byrum to help them file legal paperwork to get their child back. This is Kent's response. Everybody that thinks he's a super patriot, you better pay attention. And people that are getting this, I'm telling you, I'm getting calls and people waking up that wouldn't have otherwise known what was going on. This needs to be spread out. People need to get this information.
That's right.
Went up there to help them.
And your mama.
I'm not your dad, right?
You know, we're not responsible for.
Like some family up in North Alabama, their child was taken a month ago, and Brady went up there to help them. I said, Brady, that's wonderful. He said, no, they're broke. They can't afford to pay anything, so I'm doing it for free. I said, well, really, you're not. I'm paying for it.
That's right. Indirectly.
I said, well, I'm paying for your food. I'm paying for your utilities here. So you taking them on for free is costing me. Oh, I never thought of it like that. Well, that's the way. I said, Brady, you should have said, give me $500, like any lawyer. Give me $500, and I'll work on your case. And as soon as I use up that $500, I'll ask for more. And it's their problem to raise the $500. Sell your car, sell your shoes. Borrow from your neighbors. But
go work for it.
As it is, it ended up taking, without my consent, from CSE. People don't see it that way, but I have to see it that way. I said, your work for me in the legal field is wonderful. It's amazing. Thank you. It's been 100% outgo, zero income. And this is only one slice of a big pie that I'm trying to watch over 50 other slices, okay?
Did you hear that? Basically, you doing your legal stuff for me, if it's not income, it's outgo. He's such a manly manly God, whatever, a man of God, and he's a church that he can't donate time to somebody to help them get their kid back. And while Brady is gone to help these people, he's not taking up electricity. He's not eating Kent's food. How is it inadvertently that Kent's paying for that? This guy is a wolf, a hardcore wolf. Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through Christ which strengtheneth me. John 8:32, ye shall know the truth, and the truth will make you free. I want to end it on one couple Bible verses, in fact. This is Proverbs 6:16 through 19. These 6 things doth the Lord hate, yea, 7 are an abomination unto him: a proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood, and heart that deviseth wicked imaginations, feet that be swift in running to mischief, a false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord among brethren. Romans 16:18. For they that are such serve not our Lord Jesus Christ. Kent and these people, these punks, they don't serve the Lord Jesus Christ, but they serve their own belly, and by good words and fair speeches deceive the hearts of the simple.